My name is Zach with Kingspoke Marine Surveying, a former Skagit Valley College student. I'm here to take a look at King's Pride, help Mike Beemer and Art Hebert out getting this thing ready to fix up. We're just going to do a little tapping on the hull and deck today, so get started.
Hey! Is that you banging on the hull?
Oh my God, hey, Art Hebert.
I didn't think we were going to survey this boat.
Well, you should have surveyed this boat, like any smart person would do before they buy anything.
We're gluttons for punishment.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you got a pretty good schedule to fix it up.
Yeah, this is going to be, everybody needs something to do.
You guys have a lot of open projects, so I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You're taking on another one, but
yeah, well, we have finished some. We've actually sold and finished some.
And I'm really excited to see what you're going to do, because by the sounds of it, you've got a great project.
This is going to be a great little boat to sail.
I'm envious.
Yeah.
I'm envious.
Yeah.
What do you know about the hull, Art?
I think Bob said was this maybe like boat number 11.
Okay,
something
cool.
In that category, and it's yeah, it was the end of the West Sail legacy, and yeah, so. And
it was a single owner. Right?
Yeah, owner finished.
Owner finished.
Yeah,
that's important.
So he bought a boat that pretty much came hull and deck, and and put all the rest of the systems and parts in. So, like everything, it's some good, some bad, some hungry, some never been. So we're gonna start by making a pile of old stuff that's just never gonna see the boat again.
Yeah.
And then piece by piece, we'll put it back together. It'll be good. It's different than trying to build anything in a lab when you're actually wiring the boat and take your time and
real world.
Yeah.
It'll be really good for those students.
And then of course doing it all with the COVID, it'll be an interesting time to breathe inside of a box with our masks on.
Right.
Yeah. But one thing at a time. Students will be back soon, and it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to finding out what you find here. There's that hammering away. Are we back in the band? Are we sounding?
Yeah. So I'll play drum.
There you go. Yeah, you've got the bass line. And then, I think the hull is all solid.
All solid fiberglass.
Yeah, there's no coring below the water line. Oil was still cheap when they built it.
So that's fun. It's always fun to find the ballast, right?
Yeah.
You can hear the fiberglass. That sharp rap is really good, and you hit the ballast. Totally different sound, and you can just follow that line.
I bet you that might be where that real deep bilge pocket is.
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a bilge well just after the fuel tank.
Okay.
There should be like a fuel tank in here, encapsulated. That's maybe. We're gonna learn a lot today. Yes, it's just at the very top.
Yeah, so that ballast is
right forward, right in there. Well, right under the mast, which is where it wants to be. Son of a gun, Bob Perry knows how to design a boat.
Well, luckily, with this boat, Zach, the beauty of it is one owner. So that means over its lifespan, it's really only been changed very little. Every time an owner comes, they want to put their touch to it. So looking around, there's not a lot of great ideas. Let me put it here. So, but we only have these couple of dinghy mounting points, these tie downs for horizontal penetrations. That's where you're going to have a leak. And then the only other downside with the boat design kind of is the windows. So if we can take a look around with the moisture meter, see what you think.
Yeah, definitely. It's with a boat, I always try and encourage people to rebed their deck hardware every 10 years. Nobody does it. Nobody does it.
We encourage
We encourage
it.
it because that's through deck penetrations. That's where water gets in, and then it ruins your core, and it becomes a much bigger problem. So we're going to be looking around any through deck penetrations, windows where fasteners go through, shrouds go through, deck fills. We'll tap around it with the hammer and the moisture meter, and the hammer will tell us if there's delamination. It'll sound duller. If you think about the coring and how it's constructed, the top laminate is just a little bit lifted off the core, and
it's just separation.
It sounds dull or sometimes kind of like hard to describe. You just know it when you hear it.
Yeah, you just hear the difference.
So let's do it. Let's
see where we're at. do you find it often in open areas like this where there's been no other?
It really depends on the construction, and of course I wasn't around for how this was
Sure.
built, so I can't say for certain, but I wouldn't expect to find coring necessarily on the house sides or in these areas.
Yeah.
You see it often in the middle of deck.
Because that's where the big spans are.
Right.
Where you have.
Yep. And builders have used different techniques. You know, some of them will encapsulate their core in isolated pockets, so if you do get a problem, then you can just replace that part.
Yeah.
But as
That drives the cost of the boat
yeah,
too, though, right?
right, sure. It's a little more labor intensive. And then when fiberglass was new, they were doing coring where it was just, you know, solid like plywood layers,
Mhm.
and then fiberglassing on top of that. And so once rock got in, it could just go
Yeah,
the
just
whole
ran.
deck.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Well, let's
yeah,
see what we
let's
see here.
All in the hundreds.
All in the hundreds, yeah. So this meter goes from 0 to 999, where 999 is saturated wet, like me.
It's good that you're fluid filled.
Yeah, I drank water today.
Hydrated eye.
But
What do you think about this little spot right here?
just
No wetter or anything
no,
else,
yeah,
right?
it's just as dry.
It almost looks like somebody screwed something in and screwed it all the way through and
Yeah.
broke the gel coat.
So all these numbers are really consistent in the low, in like 100 to 200 range, which is really common for what I see in decks. And there are different moisture meters that have different scales, so this number is sort of arbitrary. It's
Sure.
just what this meter
It's
tells
comparative
me.
to, but that way if you have a known good area,
Sure.
you can directly in the field compare it to
Absolutely.
something suspect.
And you know, the other thing about moisture meters or hammers, they're just tools to gather more information, but none is the say-all be-all.
Yeah.
You know, it's just helping us
It's
gather
not a church,
information.
it's not here
That's
to forgive
right.
the sins of its owners.
It's not a church. Yeah, really consistent numbers.
Nice. Yeah, so the plan will be we'll pull the mast out this fall and bunch of new rig.
Are you gonna rebed these windows while you're at it?
We're putting all new windows.
All new windows, fabulous.
Yeah, it's gonna be got some nice new 3/8 Lexan
Awesome.
gray smoked tint.
Ooh,
So
getting can I say sexy? It's getting
no,
sexy.
I don't know about that. It's,
Cut that out.
we're gonna clothe her appropriately and send her on her merry way.
Foredeck hardware is often a place
Yeah.
that I see. Yeah. So we're seeing just very, very, very slightly elevated moisture readings around the water fill and this stanchion, and that's sort of supported by the fact that you're starting to see some rust on the stainless steel stanchion here. So that's an indicator that moisture has been sitting against the metal, allowing it to degrade its oxide layer and rust, and this is telling us that as well, compared to the rest of the deck.
So definitely need to rebed and take a look up there.
I would do that. We're seeing rust over here too, but not necessarily the elevated moisture readings that we're seeing on the other side. I was saying to Art that foredeck hardware, there are a lot of concentrated penetrations right here. This thing works hard, it works the deck, so this is often a place where we see moisture starting to go into the deck. Mostly I think this is really good.
We like to hear that.
Another through deck penetration, a major one, the chain plates. So if water does get in, you have to think, where's it going to go because of gravity and the way that the deck is built. So on this particular deck, water is going to travel aft and outboard. And so with this center chain plate, we're getting, again, very slightly elevated moisture readings. It's less on the forward side and more on the aft side. But again, very slight. And from what I hear, you guys are going to pull the chain plates, and so that'll be a good time to inspect in there anyway.
You can start it off.
All right, so what do you think? Came out not too bad, the survey?
Yeah, you know, definitely tapped out, seemingly okay. A couple elevated moisture readings, but nothing you guys can't chase out.
We're going to be rebedding and fix it over the longevity. So what do you think? Should the new boat owner, whoever buys the King's Pride, should they spend the time, effort, and money to have a survey done?
Get a survey done. The surveys are, you know, hundreds of dollars, but when you're talking about a multi-$1,000 investment, that can save you so much money in the long run.
Okay.
Keep you safe, keep your boat safe. Get a frickin' survey.
Oh, I was led into this decision.
Oh yeah, sure.
Someone else's fault always.
Somebody else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
this seemed like a great idea at the time. I didn't want to wait for a survey. Well, it's good. That'll be great, because that way you can come back, or whoever the surveyor is, they can check our work and make sure that we're doing it to standard. And hopefully they don't catch me on anything too stupid.
Well, and it's really great what you guys are doing here, teaching a generation of craftspeople to go out into our maritime industry. We need people, surveyors, ferry deck workers, marine techs, diesel mechanics, you name it. Across the board, we need people. It's a great job. They pay well. We need folks. So thank you for what you're doing here.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, many thanks, Zach.
Should have a staff meeting.
Yeah.